What's good, y'all? I am Lonnie Appleton. I am a healthy family advocate, which means I advocate for the health and wellness of the family, starting with yourself individually. Then you work with your family. As you work with your family goes off into the community, which restores the community. The community is the society, ultimately raising a vibration of the world. We have that power within ourselves if we choose to tap into it, which is what my content is about. Tapping into your internal power and becoming who you are to become in this lifetime. I was instructed to read the Bible daily at 12 noon-ish Mountain Standard Time. It is presently 12:16, so 16 minutes ago is when I go live daily and read the Bible. If you'd like to join, right now we are starting the chapter Leviticus. We finished Exodus yesterday, so we are really excited and proud of ourselves because we officially read 2 books of the Bible on live together. I am reading the Bible with the understanding from this cover to this cover and the pages in between. I am not using any other resources, any other prior knowledge. I am just making heads and tails and meaning, deriving meaning of what I'm reading from the Bible to apply to my everyday life. And I invite you all to join in because we deserve to know how to actually apply this in a healthy way that sustains and grows our families. So that is the perspective I'm reading from. I'm not here to defend why I'm reading the Bible. I'm not here to argue if this is a valid piece of text or any of those things. That is your space to exist in, not mine. So I won't allow anyone to draw me into that space. I will just say the last 3 days of 2023, God instructed me to go live daily and read the Bible. And I am in a season of obedience. God is giving me directives and just seeing if I'm going to be obedient. So I've been in a lot of spaces lately. Welcome to the live. Hey, Regina. I'm in a lot of spaces lately where God is testing me just to see if I'm going to be obedient. So what I've identified in my life in 2023, it really was a complete breakdown, restructure, breakthrough, and rebuild year for me. 2024 so far is really shaping up to be a season of obedience. Are you going to listen? Listen in the physical world. Please leave. Please shut my door and leave. Hurry up. Thank you. Listen in the physical world, i.e., I have a literal teacher. I have someone that I have to yield to and listen to. When they say be quiet, I gotta be quiet. When they say go, I gotta go. So I have an actual teacher that I have to learn how to bend my will to and allow myself to be led and to be taught. So I am in a season of forced obedience and a season of willful obedience. So am I willingly going to do what I've been told to do? And so far I think I've been doing well, and I see things opening up for me. Opportunities are beginning to present themselves to me that I know are coming because I'm breaking through obedience. So today we're going to start with the book of Leviticus, chapter 1. Exodus, I already said I think was the book of Exodus, I already said I believe was a plant. Like, I didn't vibe at all in that whatchamacallit. And I didn't vibe at all in that chapter. But I think that Leviticus is going to be more of Exodus. But at least we made it out of Exodus. Can we pat ourselves on the back? Because that was a tough read. Chapter 1, the burnt offering. The Lord called to Moses and spoke to him from the tent of meeting. He said, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when anyone among you brings an offering to the Lord, bring as your offering an animal from either the herd or the flock. If the offering is burnt offering from the herd, you are to offer a male without defect. You must present it at the entrance to the tent of meeting so that it will be acceptable to the Lord. You are to lay your hand on the head of the burnt offering, and it will be accepted on your behalf to make atonement for you. You are to slaughter the young bull before the Lord, and then Aaron's sons, the priests, shall bring the blood and splash it against the sides of the altar at the entrance to the tent of meeting. You are the skin You are to skin the burnt offering, and you are to skin the burnt offering and cut it into pieces. The sons of Aaron, the priests, are to put fire on the altar and arrange wood on the fire. Then Aaron's sons, the priests, shall arrange the pieces, including the head of the fat and the wood that is burning on the altar. You are to wash the internal organs and the legs with water, and the priest is to burn all of it on the altar. It is a burnt offering, a food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. If the offering is a burnt offering from the flock, from either the sheep or the goats, you are to offer a male without defect. You are to slaughter it at the north side of the altar before the Lord, and Aaron's sons, the priests, shall splash its blood against the side of the altar. You are to cut it into pieces, and the priest shall arrange them, including the head and the fat and the wood that is burning on the altar. You are to wash the internal organs and the legs with water, and the priest is to bring all of them and burn them on the altar. It is a burnt offering and a food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. I promise, if the Bible stopped repeating itself, hey Reed, if the Bible stopped repeating itself, this book would only be 3 pages long. But here's something about repetition. Spirit is talking to me right now about repetition. Anything that you are going through your life, you're like, why do I keep experiencing this? You're going through it because it's a lesson. Nothing is insignificant. Everything has meaning. I say that because I was talking to Shifu, which is my teacher. I was talking to Shifu, and he asked me what I learned in class today. And I was like, well, it's been pretty repetitive, because there's always new students. And so he has to kind of introduce them into the fold. And so those of us who have been there, and this is my topical experience. Now I'm coming from an energetic, spiritual experience. So I'm in gratitude. God spoke to me this morning and said, I was handpicked to be this man's student. Like how all of this happened, I was handpicked. He brought me in. When we met, he was like, we were supposed to meet. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I'm in his class, I shouldn't have anything but just gratitude and appreciation that I have been chosen to learn under this man. Who this man is, I don't know who he is, but y'all, I've met one of them. I always say that, but because I always meet him, but I really have met one of them. I'm one of them, but I met someone who can teach me who I am, which is something pretty heavy. There's a difference between learning different modalities, like someone teaching you tarot, someone teaching you how to read and work with crystals. I don't know how you work with crystals. Someone who's teaching you herbs, someone's teaching you root work, someone's teaching you a different modality. This person knows how to unlock the energy channels to be able to be the modality. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but he knows how to teach me how to just be me. And you guys know who I am, so he can help me go more into me. So just the honor of being in this space. But to my point of repetition, I was like, it's repetitive. So, I'm waiting to learn more. I'm happy that when you do reinforce knowledge, I can, repeat it because I've internalized it. But now that I'm reading the Bible, and I know I won't say nobody. When you start living your life intentionally and purposefully, nothing is happenstance, coincidence. If someone's repeating something, it's a purpose. It's a reason. If something is repeating in your life, it's for purpose. It's for a reason, right? So we can't get frustrated anymore. We're like, okay, why do I keep, Clearly repetition, I keep noticing, why does the Bible keep repeating itself? Why does Shifu keep repeating themselves? Okay, why are things repeating themselves? In 2 different places, 2 very important places, the Bible and my teacher, they're both repeating themselves. Why? Why is repetition important? So that's a lesson for me to learn, but it's also for me to bring to your attention that if something is being repeated to you, it's for a reason. It's for you to pick up on either what is being repeated to you or why is repetition happening. So for me, it's not necessarily what is being repeated to me, i.e. the blood offering. Thank you, Ashley Moore. Not the blood offering. It's not what's being repeated to me, but what's being repeated to me. Why? I made my point. But still, if the Bible stopped repeating itself, this dang book would only be 10 pages long. Because I literally read the same verses twice. If the offering to the Lord is a burnt offering of birds, you are to offer a dove or a young pigeon. The priest shall, and thank you for the follow, Ashley. A dove or a young pigeon, the priest shall bring it to the altar. Wring off the head and burn it on the altar. Its blood shall be drained out on the side of the altar. It is to be removed, the crop and the feathers, and throw them down east of the altar where the ashes are. He shall tear it up by the wings, not dividing it completely, and then the priest shall burn it on the wood that is burning on the altar. It is a burnt offering, a food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. You see how I read that sentence and I didn't even have to look at it? Because they said it there, they said it there, and they said it there. So obviously, God likes pretty smelling things. The grain offering, chapter 2. When anyone brings a grain offering to the Lord, their offering is to be of the finest flour. They are to pour olive oil on it, put incense on it, and take it to Aaron's sons, the priests. The priest shall take a handful of the flour and oil, together with all the incense, and burn this on a memorial portion on the altar. A food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. The rest of the grain offering belongs to Aaron and his sons. It is a most holy part of the food offerings presented to the Lord. If you bring a grain offering baked in an oven, it is to consist of the finest flour, either thick loaves made without yeast and with olive oil mixed in, or thin loaves made without yeast and brushed with olive oil. If your grain offering is prepared on a griddle, it is to be made of the finest flour mixed with oil and without yeast. Crumble it and pour it on it. It is a grain offering. If your grain offering is cooked in a pan, it is to be made of the finest flour and some olive oil. Bring the grain offering made of these things to the Lord. Present it to the priest, who shall take it to the altar. He shall take out the memorial portion from the grain offering and burn it on the altar as a food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. The rest of the grain offering belongs to Aaron and his sons. It is a most holy part of the food offerings presented to the Lord. Every grain offering you bring to the Lord must be made without yeast, for you are not to burn any yeast or honey in a food offering presented to the Lord. You may bring them to the Lord as an offering of the first fruits, but they are not to be offered on the altar as a pleasing aroma. What do y'all put on y'all's ancestral altars if you have an ancestral altar? Like, I don't know nobody's favorite food. That's the problem with not talking to your... Make sure you are... I know this is a terrible subject to talk about, but we need to, one, especially if we are establishing relationships, like real soul connections with people, the conversation about death needs to happen. It does. I talk to my kids. Well, my kids are so afraid I'm going to die. Every conversation, they kill me off. But, they're not afraid I'm going to die. They're afraid of the loss. What I'm saying is, I haven't been using my ancestral altar either. And I've been being blessed. I know my ancestors are like, sis, pay spirit. I was like, I don't know what to pay you. I don't know how to pay spirit. I don't know what they want from me. But I've decided when I get my first check, I'll put a percentage of my first check on the altar. And one of my kids was stealing the money off the altar, girl. I told her, you're going to have to deal with the ancestors. They don't like that. They don't like that. And so, I don't know how to pay spirit. I've been so blessed lately, too. I'm so grateful. Make sure you go pay spirit. Spirit's pulling up for you. Pull up for spirit. That's just like me doing you a solid and you not even thanking me for it. Just because I'm in the physical world, anything in the energetic world is way more powerful than anything in this physical world. So make sure you figure out what it is between conversation with your ancestors and your guides and figure out how to pay spirit. I don't know how to pay spirit. I be putting, I barely eat. I'm eating a potato. Here's a piece of your potato. Like, I don't know what to pay spirit with. You want a steak? We ain't got no steak. You want me to go buy a steak? Man, no, I can't pay the water bill. No, it's not like that. But, it's just like, I don't know how to pay spirit. But make sure you're having the conversations with your loved ones. I've already told Bailey what my sign for her will be. upon my passing. So if she sees this in her, I call it orbit or, universe, whatever. If she sees this in her field of awareness, then that's me saying hi. I have the thing with my mother. If I see two identical vehicles, same make, same model, same color, they can have different embellishments. I'm not going to be so, anal, but same make, same model, same body style, same color. That's my mom saying, hey. So if someone has passed on where you don't have a connective this is what this means because you didn't have the conversation, make it up. I made it up, and guaranteed spirit is like, okay, boom, that's what we're doing. Whenever I'm having a bad day, I will see two cars that look exactly like each other. Whenever I'm having a great day, or if I'm going, all right, I'm going to this interview, I'll see two identical cars drive by. Anyway, my mom shows up whenever I need her out in the world because I have identified that as a sign from my mom. But I actually have conversations with my children that these will be signs that I am actually present and speaking to you so they don't have to guess. Let your children know what your favorite foods are. Let your children know what your favorite colors are, your scent. If you smell this, it's me. Have those conversations so when you pass on, you're still spending time with your children because you still are spending time with your children, but we're so detached from spirit. We're like, is that you? I'm letting you know. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me. I've been so blessed lately. Same, I barely eat. I know I barely eat. We gonna get it together. Man, we about to we gonna eat so much, we about to double in size. People gonna be like, is that you, Ree? Sure is. Been eating. Season all your grain offerings with salt. Do not leave the salt on the covenant of your God out of your grain offerings. Do not leave the salt of the covenant of your God out of your grain offerings. It still didn't make sense the second time I read it. Add salt to all your offerings. If you bring a grain offering of first fruit to the Lord, offer crushed heads of new grain roasted on the fire. I didn't know where the crushed heads was going. I was scared. Put oil and new grain roasted on the fire. Put oil and incense on it. It is a grain offering. The priest shall burn the memorial portion of the crushed grain on the oil together with all the incense as a food offering presented to the Lord. Sure. Just please be quiet in the background. Chapter 3, the fellowship offering. If you're offering, so the sound effects in the background is you not being quiet. Please be quiet, okay? Shh. I don't need you to say here. I don't need you to say anything. I just need you to be shh, okay? Thank you. The fellowship offering. If your offering is a fellowship offering and you offer an animal from the herd, whether male or female, you are to present before the Lord an animal without defect. You are to lay your hand on the head of your offering and slaughter it at the entrance to the tent of meeting. Then Aaron's sons, the priest, shall splash the blood against the side of the altar from the fellowship offering. You are to bring a food offering to the Lord. The internal organs and all the fat that is connected to them, both kidney and the fat on the near the loins, and the long lobe of the liver, which you will remove from the kidneys. Then Aaron's sons are to burn it on the altar on top of the burnt offering that is laying on the burning wood. It is a food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. Can you turn my light back on?
Sorry.
It's okay. You don't need to say sorry. Say sorry for times that really matter. If you offer an animal from the flock as a fellowship offering to the Lord, you are to offer a male or female without defect. If you offer a lamb, you are to present it before the Lord. Lay your hand on its head and slaughter it in front of the tent of meeting. Then Aaron's son shall splash its blood against the side of the altar. From the fellowship offering, you are to bring a food offering to the Lord. Its fat, the entire fat tail cut off close to the neck, the backbone, the internal organs, and all the fat that is connected to them, both kidneys with the fat on them near the loins of the long lobe of the liver, which you will remove from the kidneys. The priest shall burn them on the altar as a food offering presented to the Lord. If your offering is a goat, you are to present it before the Lord. Lay your hand on its head and slaughter it in front of the tent of meeting. Then Aaron's son shall splash its blood against the side of the altar. From what you offer, you are to present this food offering to the Lord. The internal organs and all the fat that is connected to them, both kidney with the fat on them near the loins and the long lobe of the liver, which you will remove the kidney. The priest shall burn them on the altar as a food offering. Thank you for the lovely, a pleasing aroma. All the fat is the Lord's. This is a lasting ordinance for the generations to come. Wherever you live, you must not eat any fat or any blood. So what I received from that, hey Kendra, hey Ion, you coming to hang out tonight? What I'm receiving from that is spirit, I'm going to say God, but spirit doesn't want scraps. So bring the best. You know what I'm saying? What I have been doing is whatever I'm eating, I just share with spirit. Yay, I'm excited. I just share with spirit, I think spirit knows my heart as far as my ancestral altar. I don't know what I'm doing. And, until I know what I'm doing, I think spirit should be happy with my efforts, right? I don't be so anal, spirit, that you're just like, I wanted the whole potato. You over here giving me half of your potato. I want the whole potato. Hopefully spirit is pleased with me. But also what I received was, I've been hanging around the community, and in the community, a lot of people say, don't say sorry. Don't say you're sorry. Don't say you're sorry. Save it for when it matters. And that came from Shifu. I'm going to quote Shifu often because there's lots of lessons being taught, and I never want to take credit for ideas and thoughts that aren't my own. That did not originate here. Now, I did internalize them. Oh, yeah, we talked about some stuff, y'all. After Bible study, we going to have to get our mouth running for a little bit because I got to tell y'all about the breakthrough I had with my husband because y'all know we've been going through it. Thank you, Chanty. I hope I said that right. They know your heart. That's all that matters. I appreciate that wisdom. Okay, boom. So we can talk about that tonight because I do not know how to pay spirit. So I don't know if we apologize. Look. We're human and this is me processing because people just tell me, don't say sorry, don't say sorry. And then Shifu added, don't say sorry, save it for things that matter. And so I made the connection of why we're not supposed to say sorry. And the reason why I brought that up is because my son said sorry. I am a huge, scroll up a bit, apologizer. My daughter is a huge apologizer. And, we both, we'll breathe too loud. And I'm like, sorry, I've been I'm not sure what I'm missing. But, we'll breathe too loud and say, sorry. And we've been trying to break that habit, but it's hard to break the habit because I apologize because I live with collective mindset, collective mentality. I have always lived my life with other people in consideration. So that's why I struggle with humanity because humanity is very selfish. Selfish. I just dropped a video about being selfish. These kids, they selfish. I want you all to myself, I swear. These kids. The problem with becoming your kids' friends is all of them want you to be their friend at the same time. So I'm like this. All four of them just in here on me, which is beautiful, right? Isn't that what we want? We want our family. We want to be able to feed into our children. We want to spend that time and that energy and uplift. And, if you, as the head of the household, are working through something, never-ending friends, if you are working towards something, and now you have your little friends, you ain't one of their little friends, but they're your little friends, and you are teaching them and feeding into them and growing their spirit and turning them into super manifestors too. You not only have your manifestation energy, but you also have your children's manifestation energy. So all of you are pouring into the collective goal of the family. You understand? So my little friends all around this, let's grow this family to the next level vibe. So while I'm sitting here speaking about, this is where our family is headed, they're like, yeah, because da, 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 da. So now we have all this collective. When two or more come together in my name, I am present. So we are all feeding into the energy of evolving this family to the next level. So, but I want to be my own friend too. She, me needs time too. Yeah, my kids are, but let's get on to saying sorry. So anyway, how I broke this down was we're human, we're having human experience, we're going to bump into each other, we're going to have accidents, we're going to, do things that we did not intend to do. Why do we need to apologize for being human? I am human. Why do you have a problem with me and demand an apology from me for being human? You understand? And so it's just giving grace. It's not so much as me not feeling like I need to apologize. It's you giving grace. You know what I'm saying? And so I think there may be another way too, because I think it's rude not to acknowledge that you fubbed somewhere. You fumbled somewhere. So I guess I apologize or, my bad. Something, I don't know what the bridge is between, I stepped on your foot, while we were dancing. We all know it wasn't on purpose. I'm not going to say sorry because it was an accident. But what do I say so that you know that I acknowledge that I did it? So I don't know what the go-between is, but I know there's a lot of times that I say sorry and my kids say sorry that are completely unnecessary. Like my son made a loud noise. You don't need to say sorry because you made a loud noise. Just show me in your actions by not making any more noise that you acknowledge that you did something that was disruptive. So I don't know what the go-between is, but when I was at school, because, and Shifu told me my fingers are going to start going down. My fingers are starting to go down. This one was like double the size, but, and there's a little pain when I go like this, but you couldn't even touch it. It was it hurt so bad. But Shifu, he grabbed my hand and I was like, he was like, sorry. I was like, we don't say sorry. He was like, no, I actually need to say sorry for that because that was a for real accident. Like I really did hurt you and I am sorry that I hurt you. So there are circumstances to apologize, but every circumstance isn't worth an apology. That's my topical understanding. I'm just sharing it with you guys. Internalize it, process it how you choose. But that's why I was just explaining why you hear me in the background tell Caden, don't apologize, don't say sorry. You're just being human. Save it for something that matters. I just tried this with my kids for a bigger home, and we gonna do it. You didn't try it, you did it. You did it with your children for a bigger home. And we are all standing together and sending energy. Double tap the screen for Chanty because we are wishing for God's divine grace to bring her and her children and her family to higher places and higher heights, bigger than they can even imagine. Whatever is in her true heart's desires and what she needs for herself, that is what we are calling into your reality, friend. So you didn't try to do nothing, you did it. And it is going to happen because you know it is so in your heart and in your mind. We are all coming together for your higher good. That's what this community is about. You know what I'm saying? We're here to lift each other up. Tell each other what you're working on so we all can pull up for you energetically. We ain't got to come for you. We ain't got to come to you like this. We just got to come with you like this, like this, like this, like this for you. And that's what this community is about. And that's why you join it. That's why we get down. You know what I'm saying? Because we lifting each other up. Ain't no woman, no man, no human left behind anymore. Not over here. Right, we can say what we will improve moving forward to show that we care about their needs. Exactly. Tap and agree. Tap and agree. If I could tap and agree, I would. But if I tap my screen, I might mess something up. All right. Chapter 4, the sin offering. I told you, Kendra, it's more of the same. We got the sin offering, the guilt offering, the grain offering, the sin offering, the fellowship. Apparently, there's 2 sin offerings because we can't stop sinning. The ordinance of Aaron and his son. All right, by the time we make it to chapter 8, it looks like we're done with the offerings, but we got to make it to chapter 8. So let me Agreed and amen. And thank you. You're welcome, my friend. We here for each other. Whatever you need to do, connect with the ladies. Everyone who's in here right now is gang. Connect with them. You know what I'm saying? We are all sisters. We are all family. We are all elevating each other. And everybody will have something to feed into you at the time you need it. Just connect. I encourage everyone who's ever in my comment section, because we're a small group, right? Whoever's in the comment section, connect with each other. Why? Because they're willing to speak up first and foremost. So they're willing to share their thoughts and ideas with others. They're not afraid. So they've already demonstrated the part that is necessary in order to develop a friendship. Willing to speak, willing to be seen, willing to be heard. And now you have to be willing to speak, willing to be seen, and be willing to be heard. And now you can come into a space of communion. And friendship isn't a long time. And the beautiful thing about these online friendships is they're on your terms, right? I could eat with my mouth open. You'll never know. I could fart with my leg up. You'll never know. But what I am is what you need, because it's online and it's within your parameters. So online friendships are the first friendships where you get to set your own boundaries. You know what I'm saying? So practice being a good quality friend, and energetically you will feel when that friendship is no longer a friendship. And no, it's not that we're not friends anymore. It's just like it'll grow, and it'll be like Kendra's on me right now, but it's gonna come a time where Kendra's like, all right, sis, I see you. But she'll see me when we come in passing. But right now, me and Kendra, we're ace boom coons right now. Because what Kendra is going through right now, she needs from me. And Kendra's going to give me something that I need, because that's what energetic exchanges is. And once Kendra gets what she needs, she's going to be gone. But she's always going to be here. Do you know what I'm saying? I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. Hopefully you know what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is friendships don't have to burn at the same intensity the entire duration of the friendship. And just because it does not burn at that same intensity does not mean it's not the same friendship. It just means that whatever that was drawing us together is no longer there, and we both feel it. And that's how we become frenemies, because we're trying to force a friendship. And I don't really vibe with you like that no more. You know what I'm saying? You've all experienced it, so you know what I'm saying. But what most of us do is we try to hold on to things. So we still trying to, arrange play dates with each other way past their season. So now we're getting on each other's nerves. And we're like, why is this person all of a sudden getting on my nerves? Because spirit's like, this over. You got what you needed. It's over. Bid her adieu and let her go on her way. And you go on your way too. Energy transforms simply, aka attachment. Yep. The purpose will be served always. Yes, I love it here. We are a dope ass community. Tell your friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend. All right, let's go into the sin offering, y'all. I'm going to talk more than I read. We ain't ever going to get to do Leviticus because I'm bored. Ain't nothing to talk about in Leviticus except for burnt offerings and splashing blood on walls. Who want to talk about that? I'm afraid my live going to get banned because I'm talking about slaughtering animals and splashing blood on the walls. 27 chapters, and we on chapter 4, the sin offering. Let's see if it's anything like the fellowship offering. I don't mean to mock God. I'm sorry. I do mean to mock it. It's funny. It's funny. I'm literally reading the same thing over and over again. Who gonna splash the blood on the wall this time? Let's find out. Chapter 4. The Lord said to Moses, I say to the Israelites, when anyone sins unintentionally and does what is forbidden in any of the Lord's commands, if the anointed priest sins, bringing guilt on the people, he must bring to the Lord a young bull without defect as a sin offering. So do not bring the Lord scraps. Do not bring the Lord what you don't want and no longer have use for. The value in an offering is because it is something that you are sacrificing and you are releasing. This is what I'm picking up from that. It's something you want, so give it. God loves the heart of a cheerful giver. You want to get something, give something you want. That's the law of giving and receiving. Give in the area that you have a need. You want that $10. I can't give it to them. I need that $10. But if you release it in the heart, in the energy of knowing that if you were led to give, that person needs it more than you, it'll come back to you tenfold. Always does, hasn't it? Hasn't it? Every area that we have tricked our minds into believing scarcity, have we ever truly experienced lack? They teach us lack. They teach us scarcity. But think about it. All the areas you're like, man, I can't because man, in my 20s, I used to take trips with $20 in my pocket. Just get on the road, just enough for gas, and had a blast. Lack and scarcity is here. He is to lay his hand on the head and slaughter it there before the Lord. Then the anointed priest shall take some of the bull's blood and carry it into the tent of meeting. He is to dip his fingers into the blood and sprinkle some of it 7 times before the Lord, in front of the curtain of the sanctuary. The priest shall then put some of the blood on the horns of the altar and of fragrant incense that is before the Lord in the tent of the meeting. The rest of the bull's blood he shall pour out at the base of the altar of burnt offering at the entrance to the tent of meeting. He shall remove all the fat from the bull of the sin of offering, all of the fat that is connected in the internal organs, both kidney with the fat of them near the loins and the long lobe of the liver, which will remove with kidneys, just as the fat is removed from the ox sacrifice as a fellow ceremonial clean, where the ashes are thrown, and burnt it there as a wood fire on the ash heap. If the whole Israelite community sins unintentionally and does what is forbidden in any of the Lord's commands, even though the community is unaware of the matter, when they realize their guilt and the sin they committed becomes known, the assembly must bring a young bull as a sin offering and present it before the tent of meeting. I'm going to stop there. There's times that we are unintentionally sinning. There's times when we're unaware. God's not really worried about your unaware state. The universe really isn't worried about your unaware state. Something came to me earlier. What was it? There was something that was happening around me, but I was unaware that it was happening around me until I became aware of it. I guess the best example that I could think of, which isn't what came to me, but the example that I gave the other day on Bible study is we went and pulled into this parking lot and they had gravel for the places. And because the car that I'm driving right now has an oil leak, I am now paying attention to concrete versus gravel as a place to park. And so Bailey was like, you wouldn't even, hey Sammy, Bailey was like, you wouldn't even paid attention to that if you hadn't been driving a car that has a leak. And I was like, yeah, so now that is being brought into my field of awareness, even though it's always been there, but I've never paid attention to it because I didn't have to. And so spirit isn't worried about the transgressions you are unaware of. Spirit is worried about the moment you become aware of it, what are you doing now? If you are aware that you have something going on that needs some healing and working through, and you choose not to, now we're in a dicey space. You understand? So if you are doing the work to heal yourself and to become a better version of yourself, so that now you can create a family that is a better version of itself, the behaviors that you're unaware of, I'm just now becoming aware of my language. Like I knew, like there's videos in 2023 where I'm talking about lower vibrational language. Please stop. You can go out there and make all the noise you want to, dear, but please don't come next to me making noise. That doesn't make sense, does it? Make your best decisions, okay? Okay. Thank you. You know, I'm being made aware of my language. So for me to continue to choose to use language that I know that is going to have an energetic vibration that's not manifesting that which I desire. When I was unaware, there was no really punitive marks for it. You know what I'm saying? She don't even know what she's saying right now. She don't even, ooh, she said what? Ooh. Okay. Spirit just like, wake up, sis, because what you just said just took you 10 steps back the moment you become aware. So the moment I become aware, and I still continue a behavior, it's a whole nother ball game. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not spirit. I just know pay attention. That's what I'm saying. Pay attention. When something comes into your field of awareness, you can't claim ignorance anymore. And now you got to do something about it. Make your best decisions all day, every day. Period. I live my life making my best decision. And I don't always make my best decision.
Mom,
what Bible study are you in? So we are in Lonnie Run Her Mouth Bible study. But I'm reading the New International Version of the Bible and really making a connection between what's in here and how we can apply it to our life. And just based off of what I'm reading, how we can make this practical. But right now we're talking about sin offerings and blood offerings and wave offerings, and how can we really bring this into our material world. So now I'm just running my mouth based on a few phrases that I hear per my reading. So that's how we do Bible study over here. Join us every day, Monday through Saturday, 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It is presently 12:56, so 56 minutes ago ish. I go live daily. I see. So that's what we do over here. I'm going to finish chapter 4. Sir, please. Yes. Then the anointed priest is to take some of the bull's blood into the tent of meeting. He shall dip his fingers into the blood and sprinkle it before the Lord 7 times in front of the curtain. He is to put some of the blood on the horns of the altar. I think I already read that. If not, you already know. It's going to say the same thing again somewhere. When a leader sins unintentionally and does what is forbidden in any of the commands of the Lord, his God, when he realizes his guilt in the sin he has committed becomes known, he must bring as his offering a male goat without defect. See, once you know you sin, once you know you ain't upright and you ain't doing what you need to in your life, you got to correct it, whatever that looks like. He is to lay his hand on the goat's head. I don't know if we're bringing goats into the, I don't know if we're doing the goats. That's what you do. That's what you do. No judgment. And slaughter it at the place where the burnt offering is slaughtered before the Lord. It is a sin offering. Then the priest shall take some of the blood of the sin offering with his finger and put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and pour out the rest of the blood at the base of the altar. He shall burn all the fat on the altar as he burnt the fat of the fellowship offering. In this way the priest will make atonement for the leader's sin, and he will be forgiven. If any member of the community sins unintentionally and does what is forbidden in any of the Lord's commands, when they realize their guilt and the sin they have committed becomes known, they must bring as their offering for the sin they committed a female goat without defect. They are to lay their hands on the head of the sin offering and slaughter it at the place of the burnt offering. I want you to leave my room right now, please. Then the priest is to take some of the blood with his finger and put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering and pour out the rest of the blood on the base of the altar. They shall remove all of the fat, just as the fat is removed from the fellowship offering, and the priest shall burn it on the altar as an aroma pleasing to the Lord. In this way the priest will make an atonement for them, and they will be forgiven. If someone brings a lamb as their sin offering, they are to bring a female without defect. They are to lay their hand on its head and slaughter it for a sin offering at the place where the burnt offering is slaughtered. Then the priest shall take some of the blood of the sin offering with his finger and put it on the horns of the altar of burnt offering and pour out the rest of the blood at the base of the altar. They shall remove all the fat, just as the fat is removed from the lamb of the fellowship offering, and the priest shall burn it on the altar on top of the food offerings presented to the Lord. In this way the priest will make atonement for them for the sin they have committed, and they will be forgiven. Alrighty, friends. We read all the way to chapter 5 today in Leviticus.
You went all the way to chapter 5?
Yes, we did all the way to chapter 5, bud. So, those of you who are unfamiliar with me, I'm Lonnie Appleton. I am a healthy family advocate. I am here to advocate for the health and the wellness of our families. We must start with the healing of ourselves. Thank you, Ree. After we heal ourselves, while we're healing ourselves and we get the hang of healing because it's a work, it's a practice. It is becoming someone new. It is renewing yourself into your authentic self. Once you get the hang of the skills and the ability to do the healing, thank you for the love, Kendra, please stop, of the skills and the ability to heal yourself, now you can go into your family and start creating the space to where they can now start healing with you. They be like, you changed. Yes, and you're about to change too. Let's go. And you're not forcing them into a space of healing. What you're doing is teaching them the skills to heal themselves. If you are unfamiliar with the skills to heal yourself, please get familiar with the Please get familiar with the content. Please get familiar with the community. I have a book that is called What's the Best That Can Happen. It was published in 2013. It was the first time that I knowingly ascended. We're always ascending. We call it maturation or maturity. We are always ascending. The place of maturation or maturity, like they're like big leaps, right? They're going from child mindset to adult mindset, from this mindset to this mindset, but we are ascending moment to moment to moment. Some of us ascended during this Bible study because something was shared with you. I want you to either stop or I want you to either leave. Those are your two options, but you need to be quiet. Do you understand me?
I don't do it.
Okay, so I want you to leave. You made your choice. Thank you. You can come back when I'm finished. Lock the door behind you.
Why do you lock the door behind?
Because I don't want you to come back until I'm finished. So please lock my door. I appreciate you. It's all right. We'll make better choices next time. See you on the other side of the door. All right. So, we are constantly doing the work to evolve ourselves. I don't know where I left off, but anyway, I'm here to heal the family. My book, What's the Best That Can Happen, available on Amazon. Make sure the seller is Lonnie Taylor because other people will be selling copies and you want to make sure that I get the credit. Also, I have another book if you're into urban fiction. It's really spicy and I wrote it in my 20s, so it's 20-year-old spicy, not 40-year-old spicy. Our 40-year-old Peebo Braxton is playing in the background looking spicy. No, this is some straight up R. Kelly playing in the background spicy. Y'all know how R. Kelly got down, minus the age and the capturing people and locking people in cages, minus that part R. Kelly, the R. Kelly we grew up with, not the R. Kelly today. Anyway, that's called the Domino series, Sherry Tate. I wrote that book. I actually channeled that book in 2 weeks because I have not been able to write a book. So the 2 books that I have that are out were channeled. Now I don't write books. I just journal. In my journals, like 122. So I got this book on this. I started this journal on the 22nd, and I already have that many pages front and back. So I got like 8 books, 8 journals full that will ultimately be published. And so that's how I write books. I just channel messages, and that's how I write books. So the Domino series is about HIV, AIDS, and really just to bring awareness to the community of how it is spread and to just protect yourself, So it's an educational book, but it's written in a space that is, captivating. So that's the Domino series. Both books are available on my website, LonnieLifestyle.com. I also have merch that features my art. I am an artist, or I have been an artist at one point in my life. I don't identify as that now, but I have beautiful wood art that is featured on my merch available. Please get away from my door, because at this point, you're about to get a consequence. Make a better choice. No, don't play victim. Please step away from my door. Merch available at LonnieLifestyle.com. Other ways that you can support the community by just following. Hit the follow button. Actually get engaged with the content. The content's going to grow you. So I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to grow you through entertainment. So join the community and get into the know there. You can always just donate directly to the Cash App, Lonnie Appleton, in my bio. You can also book a coaching session with me. I am a certified life and relationship coach. You can also book a mentorship with me, which is more hands-on, day-to-day, let's go type of situation. Also, at a lower price point, $66, I do what I refer to as energy worksheets. So you come to me and you say, hey, I'm working through nervousness, or I'm working through collaboration, whatever it is that you're working through, confidence, whatever you're working through. I channel a worksheet from higher consciousness. And as you go through the worksheet, you go through the journal activities, as you go through the different explorative things, and you start doing the shadow work within yourself to heal yourself, you realize you asked me about this thing, but it turns into this thing. So you're doing a lot of healing. And the beautiful thing about the energy worksheets is you can use them over and over and over again. They're like a Tupac song. Every time you hear it, you're going to get something different from it. So it's a one-time $66 investment unless you have other things you want to specifically work on, but it can feed you over and over and over again. I also do higher consciousness channels. So you come to me like, this is what I've been working with and are working through, and I just need some answers. I'm able to connect to higher consciousness on your behalf and just bring down some answers, some confirmation, some whatever it is that you need. So those are available all at LonnieLifestyle.com, or you can DM me for my services. Bible study is reposted every day on YouTube. Not every day. That was a fib. Bible studies are reposted, but some of my Bible studies ain't even got no views, so I already know y'all ain't caught up. But Bible studies are on YouTube. Lonnie, Lonee, Appleton, Appleton, live, Live. So Lonnie Appleton live on YouTube. I post all of my lives, including my Bible studies. There's actually a playlist. So it's important for us to get into the Word. Now, it's not for us to get into it in the literal sense. It's important for us to get into it so we can figure out how to apply it to our life and our lives in our walks with God. So that's why we're doing this. So I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday. I have to work. So I don't know, first day on the job. I don't know when I will be off. But when I get home, I will have Bible study. So all I can say is look for me. Otherwise, we in Leviticus. I'm going to be talking about some burnt offerings. But the beautiful thing, thank you, friend. Thank you for continuing to celebrate me. We're going to keep celebrating this, yes. The thing, even though we are reading about burnt offerings and the measurements of tabernacles and stuff, being fed, right? And so, yes, it's boring content to me. I'm not going to say what it is for you, but to me, this is just like, okay, more of this. But every time we stop and we talk, we get fed. So you're like, I can skip it, but then you're just like, but maybe there's something in it for me. So if Spirit guides you, join us, check it out on the live replays on YouTube. And yeah, I am about to click off of this live and come back so I could give y'all all the juicy details of the update that's going on. Because y'all know I've been telling y'all about what's going on in this house. Like, it's crazy. And so, but I don't want me to say something that triggers for this live to get deleted. And that'll break my heart because I want my Bible studies to actually make it past what the haters don't let them make it past. So I will see you in like 3 seconds. All right.